Presented by Häagen-Dazs.
Tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it.
He wants to come out here and put on a show.
Just kind of hope he misses, but he came out high. He made a bunch of shots.
To the basket. Wemby's back. Victor Wembanyama, 16 points, and we haven't even played 6 minutes of Game 5. It was a Spurs night, and they're one win from the Western Conference Finals.
Janae Shump, did you see it? Did you see it? There was an alien sighting last night in San Antonio. I could not be more impressed with the resilience of the Spurs. Here's how they pushed the Wolves to the brink of elimination. Wemby back. Shump, you said you expected a big game from him after being ejected. He came out with an exclamation.
Hey!
Wemby attacking the rim here, driving past Rudy Gobert.
There's
Janae.
Nothing you can do when he does that.
Hey,
Hello.
excuse me.
You know who agrees with you, Shanae?
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
You're right. It's like, on to the next.
Less than a minute later.
Oh, boy, James.
Wemby, what are you going to do when he's hitting threes like this?
What are you going to do when he plays inside and out, Malika?
Well, Rudy Gobert was saying the same thing because Wemby had 16 points, 6 of 8 shooting with Gobert as his primary defender. That's in the first quarter alone, though. And then Wemby, he had more blocks here. 3 more blocks for him, his 38 this postseason. That's the second most in a player's first 9 career playoff games since blocks became official. But I thought that this, Shanae, was when Minnesota was going to show their experience. The game all tied up at 60.
Yeah, anytime the game is close, you feel like they still have a chance. The Spurs, they went on timely runs here, but once again, their experience, their poise, they were unwavering, the Spurs. Keldon Johnson, huge for them.
This is probably his best game, Keldon Johnson, of the series. And then once again, Gobert off the miss. The Spurs out in transition. What's he going to do when Dylan Harper's laying it in like that? San Antonio took control of this game in the third quarter. They went on a 30-12 run here. So this is the finishing touches here in the fourth quarter. Harper.
I could cock it back.
Double behind the back. Wemby cannot believe it. San Antonio dominates to take the 3-2 series lead. Here's Wemby.
Victor, after having time to reflect, would you have done things differently? Did you have any regrets about the elbow?
I mean, it was 2 games ago. It's the playoffs. I'm focused. I was focused on the game today, and now I'm focusing on the game in Minnesota in 3 days. It's the playoff. We got to move on, and I got to care about my team.
And he certainly showed that care. Wemby became the 3rd youngest player in NBA history with at least 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in a playoff game. Only Magic Johnson in the 1980 finals, Luka Doncic in the bubble did it at a younger age. So, Sinead, whether or not Wemby said it, his play suggested he felt like he had some making good to do with his team. How did he change this game?
Yeah, the circumstances kind of show that they poked the bear. And you know that line, if you ever find me in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. That's mystical. That's mystical. The bear clawed back. He was truly a game changer. But get this, some stats blow my mind. He had more blocks. He has more blocks than the Timberwolves have field goals when he's a contesting defender.
Whoa.
More blocks. It's wild. Let's talk about how he's the ultimate rim deterrent. This is what David Dennis Jr. calls the hell nas. When are we going to add that stat? Because so many people dribble and they say, hell no, I'm not going to shoot the ball. And instead, he just forces more possessions like this, where he can step up as a help defender. The drop-off is there. That normally, 99.9% of the time, that is a dunk by Rudy Gobert, but instead, it's a hell no. Again, on this type of possession, he can guard multiple players, not just in the paint, but also on the perimeter. This is what makes him special. 2 guys like an alien, 2 eyes, he has peripheral vision, but on an island as the center, being able to contest shots like this is huge. Victor Wembanyama, hell no, you're not gonna get the shot off. He completely changes the game. 2 different levels in 2 different degrees. I want you guys to take a very good look at this. These are some wild numbers. We have not seen this. This is top 10 in the last 10 seasons. Allowed 0.6 points per play. 26%, that's what people are shooting on Victor Wembanyama. Again, only 1 3-point shot made so far in this series, and he has 22 blocks, which is on pace for most in a series in the last 30 years, which is wild. Again, on this category, I remember that 1-3. It was Anthony Edwards, step back, and I was like, oh, he's got it. But that was 1-3 an entire series.
Right.
Victor Wembanyama, ultimate defensive game changer.
And he said it, we don't care about the lack of experience that we have, and he's certainly showing that. But again, when the game was all tied up at 61, this was a rock fight. The Spurs, they got out to a big lead, and then Minnesota showed their poise, and I thought that Minnesota's experience maybe would win out down the stretch of this game. What impressed you about what San Antonio did?
I think that San Antonio offered bait to the Timberwolves.
What does that mean?
There's times during a game that you know how your team plays. You know what y'all hang y'all hat on, but we junk up the game. We bring a guy in off the bench. We hit a three. We feel good about it. We let you guys get out there. We give you a three. You take it. You miss it. We come down, hit another three. You should call a timeout, but y'all are older.
Right.
So you're going to try and roll again. Julius Randle doesn't make whatever play, and then you have an 8-point swing that now just starts an avalanche of scoring for the Spurs. I think that their guards did a great job of saying, while we're doing our thing, we need to make sure that we continue to change sides of the floor. They didn't shoot off balance, and I mean with their team.
Right.
They balanced the floor. They didn't shoot an off balance shot. All of their shots had chances of an offensive rebound. All of their shots felt like the whole gym knew when and who was going to shoot it. When you watch Minnesota, it just felt like, hey, your turn, your turn, your turn. It's like, where's the offense? Where's the actions? Where's the guys that we know need to make plays right now? Because Anthony Edwards didn't see the ball that whole time.
Because there's certain teams that are playing to cover up their holes and cover up what they don't have, and there's other teams that are playing to their strengths and to exploit you.
Completely agree. Victor Wembanyama, when he decides to play inside and out, there's nothing you can do about it. Because then the defense has to shift to the inside, and that creates the easiest spray opportunities for his teammates. Those are the easy reads.
Yeah.
When he goes outside and in, step back, you're trying to figure out the offense that works without using your ultimate advantage with him on the low post where he attracts, where his gravitational pull is super high. And to me, that's the thing that makes things easy for them. When he decides to get downhill and apply pressure on the rim and play through that lens, it's so much easier for the rest of his teammates.
Without a doubt. It opens up a lot of driving lanes for them, but it also makes mistakes on the other end for everybody else.
Right.
If he gets by somebody, or if he just starts to get a little bit of an advantage, you know the help has to come.
Sure.
There's nothing anybody could do. Once your help comes over, especially if it's not Rudy Gobert on the ball, if it's him coming over as help, it's about to get sprayed all around over there.
But it's also defensively, right? Because Anthony Edwards has really struggled passing out of the double teams here, and they've really limited what Ant's been able to do, especially in this game.
I even watched him. There was a time that I was thinking, okay, the double team's coming. They're not even doing a double team. If he gives that ball up, he's not getting it back. There's a lot of times that they're just face guarding him and not allowing him any type of openings or anything. But in the double teams that they are getting, I think that Ant-Man is doing a good job of it. It's just he's not getting the ball in scoring positions. Every time he gets a catch, he's got to protect that catch. Every time he has a double team, if he wants to exhaust the dribble, he's going to have to wait and let things open up.
And it's tied to Julius Randle, his productivity, because when you are getting double teamed, you want to get it to the next person that can make the play. And with this being an up and down series for Rudy Gobert, that guy has to be Julius Randle. And to me, if he's more effective, you know how it is when it comes to double teams, you got to get the ball out quick. And once it starts becoming bait, it's like blood in the water, and these people, the defenders, are sharks, right? So when he takes like a 1,000, 2 1,000, by then it's too late. If it gets to Julius, that's what helps him. But by having that delay, that helps the Spurs.
Okay, so you're Chris Finch. Do you make a change to your starting lineup and put Naz Reid in, but that would mean it would have to be either for Rudy or for Julius Randle?
I am never in the camp that you make a change to your identity just for one game after something has worked. I'm more so of the sense where we're going to give you 2 or 3 minutes. It's a short time, and then we prepare to apply that change for the rest of the game.
Right.
And I know I haven't always been the biggest Rudy Gobert cheerleader, but though Wemby's doing what he's doing, his defensive principles have been great within what he's doing. It's just the guys just got a height advantage.
And the tone is physicality, and that's what Rudy brings. And we all saw what that created for Victor Wembanyama. So you don't want to lose a little bit of that just to gain something else.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to win at home, force a Game 7 here in the series. But Amon said yesterday he thought the winner of Game 5 was going to be taking this one. Let's get to the New York Knicks, and not just because I'm wearing orange. We've got some good news today. OG Anunoby returned to practice. He missed, remember, the last 2 playoff games against against the Sixers, he had that hamstring strain. OG, he was the team leader in playoff minutes and second in points behind only Jalen Brunson. So let's get a little bit more on this with our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, the Eastern Finals, they could begin as early as Sunday. So what more can you tell us about OG's status as we turn towards those Eastern Finals?
Malika, sources tell me today that the Knicks are optimistic and expecting that OG Anunoby will be in the lineup for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That's barring any setback. Today, he did participate in parts of practice. I'm told he also got an individual on-court workout in as well. He's missed right now exactly 1 week. So the Knicks have been gradually bringing him back along with the hope and optimism that he'll be a go for Game 1.
All right, so there is optimism that he will be ready to go for Game 1. That is huge for the New York Knicks. Shams, let's stick in the East if we could, because you reported on a front office shakeup yesterday in Philadelphia. So here's what we know. We know that Daryl Morey is out, but they're keeping Nick Nurse as head coach. So what led to that decision?
So as far as Daryl Morey is concerned, the Sixers just felt like it was time to turn the page from a front office leadership perspective. 6 seasons for Daryl Morey as head of basketball operations with the Sixers. The team failed to make it out of the second round. But with Nick Nurse, they saw a coach that overcame a 3-1 deficit. Ownership, Bob Myers, who's now leading the search for the next executive, all in support of Nick Nurse staying on. He's dealt with a variety of injuries over the last 2 seasons in particular, but now moving forward, Bob Myers, who's the president of sports for 76ers ownership group and all their portfolios, the New Jersey Devils, the Washington Commanders, and the 76ers, Bob Myers will have his imprint on the next hire. He's going to oversee it. You think about executives with 4-time championship architect there. You think about executives with the experience and people that are most sought after, and Bob Myers fits that category. He will now be the person to lead this search, and whoever comes in will partner with Bob Myers moving forward.
All right, interesting. So our friend Bob is going to have a busy couple of weeks here coming up, and we all know how much he likes to get to work. Shams, thank you very much. Appreciate that insight. The Sixers, though, and Bob Myers, they have some decisions to make on some role players in the coming months. But look at this. The nucleus of their team, Embiid, Maxey, George, Shanae, Shump, they're owed a combined $430 million over the next 3 seasons, right? It's also worth noting.
This freshman class has been exceptional.
We got action. Day 3 of the NBA Combine in Chicago. All 30 NBA teams, they are watching the top prospects make their case to be the top pick. So let's just take some inventory here. This is Jeremy Wu's latest mock draft. He does have A.J. Debonsa going first to the Wizards. And then you can see Darren Peterson to the Jazz, Cam Boozer going third to the Grizzlies. A.J., he spoke just a few hours ago, and he says that he's not dropping from that top spot.
I never had a job before. So, I mean, I was 13, started taking basketball serious. But this is like my first job interview. So my dad's kind of like, you go, this is your job interview. So, come professional, come suit, try to come true. Like, I've been number 1 in the rankings since, 9th grade, and I ain't dropped. So I'm not planning on dropping in the draft.
Dress for the job you want. I love that he showed up in a suit and tie. It's more than we can say for Sean Farnham. Just kidding, my friend. Sean, it's good to see you. We always appreciate you stopping by, and we do know that the big names, they've gone through their measurables, they've gone through their drills. So can you run us through your top 3 takeaways so far that you've seen from the Combine?
Well, first of all, you have to understand this is our school uniform for the NBA Combine. Shams is wearing the same shirt. So if Shams is wearing the same shirt, then I'm okay wearing this shirt. That's first and foremost. Here's my top 3 takeaways, though, so far from the Combine is AJ came here, and AJ's done exactly what we all expected him to do. His measurables were outstanding at 6'8.5" without shoes. Then you look at the max vert of 42 inches. He showed this elite level athleticism in everything that he did. He didn't shoot the ball excessively well. Nobody expected him to shoot the ball excessively well. That's the area of his game that he's going to have to continue to improve. And then from an interview perspective, he has done outstanding so far. So he has stated his case to remain in that top spot. Here's the other guy that we've been talking a lot of hype about coming in because we forgot about him down the stretch of the season because of the injuries, but Caleb Wilson. The maturity and the poise of this young man that goes alongside his elite level athleticism, I think he's a guy that as we get closer to this draft is going to continue to move up in the lottery and going to create some intrigue for teams at 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then Morez Johnson Jr. Like, this is a young man that has a decision to make. Does he go back to college? Does he stay? You look at number 20 in the latest mock draft. I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing after the way that he shot the ball and the way that he tested, he's a guy that could have the potential to move all the way up into the lottery. That's how well he's performed here in Chicago.
Wow, and this is what the Combine is all about. Guys like that are able to raise their stock here. But since we're talking about Morris Johnson Jr., one of his college teammates, right? He has also been impressive, generating some buzz, I'm hearing. What is your impression of Adai Mara these last couple of days?
Freakish measurables, right? Like, I mean, you just look at how long he is, and then you watch the way he developed and his playmaking ability, his passing skill set as a big. What has improved more than anything, I think, has been his shooting ability. He worked a lot with Don McClain in the build-up to come here to the draft, and you saw that consistency in his release and shot it a lot better than I think people anticipated for him, too. And with his size, yes, there's going to be, his lateral quickness isn't going to be elite, but that wingspan can take up a lot of space. He can impact the game at the defensive end of the floor and also apply pressure on the rim.
Switching gears here, Sean, before we let you go, there's some action I'm seeing going on behind you. I'm trying to see who's on the court. What are you going to be watching for today?
Well, I think there's a couple guys right now that, Malika, are already, I'm sitting around, and there's a lot of general managers and scouts around here. So as I walked over from our set, we're covering this all on ESPN2. I think Matt Abel is starting to create a little bit of buzz for himself. He's one of the youngest prospects here. They've put him at the lead guard position. He has played very well. Of course, he is looking to potentially play at North Carolina next year. He's going to have a decision to make. Ruben Chinalu, the big man from Florida, doing exactly what you would anticipate him doing. Offensive rebounds, setting massive screens. He's probably the best defensive player in this draft as far as the bigs go, with his versatility and lateral quickness and outstanding wingspan. He'll have a decision to make as well, but he's all out on the floor. And later on today, Cam Carr, a projected first-round pick, maybe even inside the top 20, he has elected to play in the second scrimmage that'll take place here in Chicago.
I love when guys that are, I'm fairly confident about where I'm going to go in the draft, they still decide to participate in the scrimmage so we all can see, generate that buzz.
It's like me when I come on your show, Malika. I'm fairly confident that I'm going to come on, but if you ask, I'm going to show up and I'm going to deliver.
Yes, see, this is what we're talking about. And in uniform, as always. Sean Farnham, appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the Combine. Shanae, did you know that we are sitting amongst Combine greatness?
Oh, wait,
Did you know that?
Wait, I think I'm starting to sense it coming from this direction.
Amon Shumpert, 2011, he stole the show, right? He had the best, the standing vertical, right? He had the highest leap. You tied for the highest max vertical leap. And by the way, my man had 18 reps at 185 pounds on the bench press. He was pushing some weight.
Dude, you were a mega star. Dude,
I'm a guy.
Did you know you were gonna do that? You're like, I got all of these.
You know what SGA say? I got all the answers to the test. I just got to know the questions or whatever. What they didn't, talk about when I did go through that run, I was training for that. You know what I mean? Like, I knew the Combine. The cool thing about the Combine was
there he is.
Prior to that, you had to do the workouts. A lot of those workouts ended up being by yourself a lot of times, or you got put into matchups, and getting put in matchups where guys get into matchups, people stopped working out with me. So I had to find another way.
Did you figure out why they stopped working out?
Yeah, because they started realizing
185.
they're like,
you're
without a system in place, a lot of people can impose their will. I think that the Combine, for certain athletic guys, you can really take advantage of that opportunity, especially if you can hone in on all the little events.
One really quick follow-up. Do you think you can still get those numbers now?
You got to give me a little time now. You know what I'm saying? Give me a little time. I don't know about the max jump.
What about you? Are you cool for like a couple?
Average person bench 185. I feel like
yes.
Oh, no.
That we would talk about them today. We're making good on that promise because they're the first team to win each of their first 8 playoff games since 2017. The Cavs and Warriors, they both did it on their way to the NBA Finals. So let's dive a little deeper on what the Thunder are doing this postseason. This is amazing because they've been doing this with Shea being kind of average, right, by his standards, his high standards. After averaging 34 points in 4 games against the Suns, Shea averaged less than 25 points in 4 games against the Lakers, and that included 18 points in Game 1, his only game with less than 20 this postseason. And then there's Chet Holmgren. He's been the very best version of himself, right? He's shooting 60% from the field, 39% from three, and he's holding opponents under 45% from the field, under 30% on threes. And OKC's biggest playoff riser, let's call him the Belgian waffle. AJ Mitchell leads the team in plus minus, closed out the conference semis against the Lakers with his first career streak of 3 straight 20-point games. We're not calling him the Belgian waffle.
Was that your idea?
It was some help from our researcher.
So what's your idea?
I promise you, I didn't come up with that. I was not part of that.
Free by the Belgian waffle.
AJ, I don't know what that was.
He's from Belgium.
Got it. I got it. I wouldn't want to be called that. I got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's call them this, the defending champs, right? They're the 4th defending champs.
He cries when he laughs, so I'm just like,
I'll read.
I do. I cry when I laugh. All right. Can I move on?
Yes.
yeah, please.
Okay, great. What was I talking about?
did it to yourself.
The defending champs. Today, let's talk about Chet Holmgren, not the Belgian waffle. I don't know what his nickname is.
His nickname, let me just focus on the task at hand here,
Yes,
because
please.
this man has been a Terminator, particularly
That's a good nickname.
The Terminator. Love it here. Just because he's coming off of his best ever playoff series versus the Lakers, and it's on full display. He's the ultimate cheat code mismatch when he's able to read the defense like this. Here, 7-1. I'm looking at Malik on my plurals. They're still laughing.
Sorry.
But it's okay. He has the advantage. He doesn't settle for the three. It's a good to great. He has a turnaround mid-range in the paint. Keyword emphasis on the paint. Again, another possession right here. He's not going to settle. He moves so well without the basketball. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's excellent at reading double teams and getting the ball off of him. And that creates easy opportunities for others, like 4-on-3s. And then you're going to get the highest percentage shot in basketball through Chet Holmgren here, knocking it down in the paint. I want you guys to see the damage this man has done inside the interior. It is wild. He's shooting a 96% field goal percentage in the paint. Look at the company that he's keeping based off of his production. Best field goal percentage inside of 5 feet.
Wow.
Because he can read. But on top of it, Malika, you mentioned it's something very important. He's shooting near 40% from three as well. This is the best playoff series that we have seen. And last year, the Thunder, they won a championship, not just because SGA was at an MVP level, but because they had a certified second option. Without J-Dub, he has stepped into the shoes perfectly. He's been terminating. I don't know if it's as good as Belgian waffle, but he's been effective. And he's getting better each and every series, which is impressive.
And if they're going to be going up against Victor Wembanyama, that ability to stretch
Needs
the floor.
the confidence.
Exactly.
I love what he does, because what the OKC Thunder continue to do is a lot like the Spurs, which is why they're going to be looking at a mirror if they have to face off. But they change sides of the floor. There's no real available help because everybody's in a closeout. They change sides of the floor with that ball, move it around. They will drive it under that rim, kick it to the corner. You're always playing catch-up when playing with them, and playing catch-up with people that are already good with the basketball and making decisions and making plays with AJ Mitchell and SGA being a part of their ball club. It's just dangerous to have to feel like all the time I have to watch my back.
Right.
I got to watch my back for an action. I got to watch my back for a back screen. Somebody's going to do a back tap. I got to make sure you got too many responsibilities and you're going to make a mistake.
Well, you're talking about whether or not they're going to face the Spurs. The Timberwolves aren't done yet,
At all.
but they are right teetering on the edge of elimination. Last night in San Antonio, though, it was all about Victor Wembanyama, his game on full display here. So we're going to pick this up with 9 minutes left to go in the first. The Spurs holding a 2-point lead at the time. De'Aaron Fox drives.
My boy.
Kicks it out to Victor.
Layup.
Stretches the floor for three. He would finish the night with 2 made three-pointers. San Antonio takes a 5-point lead there. And then Wemby.
Oh, he's comfortable.
I need this.
Look out below. He finished the first quarter with 18 points, by the way.
Message received.
Dylan Harper misses the jumper. Wemby's there to clean it up.
Yeah, no one can do that.
That's
Only him.
Crazy.
Now midway through the fourth.
Oh, yeah, here's it. The clamps.
Terrence Shannon Jr.'s three. Not quite there.
You see the hesitation? He couldn't believe that got blocked. He had to process.
should've.
He had to process it.
Yeah,
Got to
you're
get
right.
back, though, because he's
You're
going to
right.
leak out.
Got you miscomputing.
And by the way, Wemby, he joined LeBron in this game as the second player in NBA postseason history with at least 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 threes.
Crazy.
Regardless of who wins the series, it's worth noting that Oklahoma City didn't get the better of either of these two potential opponents during the regular season. San Antonio 4-1. earn the right to dream big if they close out the series against Minnesota here. I can't wait for the Western Conference Finals. All right, let's shift to the W here. We got a lot to get to. That's where Angel Reese, Alicia Gray, dreams turned into nightmares for the Dallas Wings. But Paige Beckers, the Wings, they came out breaking ankles here today.
Oh, man. Slip and slide. And that's my girl, JC. That's my girl, JC.
Ultimately, though, Alicia Gray poured in 26 points. Angel Reese added 12 points, 16 rebounds, and the Dream, they improved to 2-0 this season. In Portland, this may have been the game of the night here. The Fire cooled off Brianna Stewart and the Liberty in historic fashion. So check out Sarah Ashley Barker.
Carlton for the shot, off the glass.
Grabs a rebound.
Flick it up. Look at the flick of the wrist.
The buzzer. The Portland Fire defeated the Liberty, their first game-winning buzzer beater
you see
in
that
franchise
arena?
history. Fans going crazy.
I didn't know they had streamers, though, but that's smart for the first ever win, right?
Yeah, exactly. You should be celebrating. We're celebrating because Kendra Andrews is here in one of my outfits.
I mean, when in LA, you made your sister's closet, right? Why pack anything?
Exactly.
Business here, because we're talking about a sister matchup tonight for Chennai. The Fever are in town taking on Nneka Ogwumike and the Sparks, right? But we know that the Fever, you have been speaking to people about how they're managing Caitlin Clark's minutes. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I just literally sprinted across the street from Crypto.com across the way to get here to talk to you guys about Caitlin Clark. And I asked Stephanie White, right, like, are you guys trying to manage Caitlin's workload? She had to go get her back adjusted a couple times during their game against Dallas, and she said, look, it's not just Caitlin that we're trying to manage, it's the entire team. We don't want players early in the season to have to play too many minutes. Last year, you guys will remember, they were so injury-riddled, they did not have that luxury. Everyone had to play such a big workload.
That's right.
So right now, they're trying to be very mindful with every single player on their roster. For Caitlin, I did ask her, look, is her back a long-term concern? And Stephanie White said, no, it's not. You know, as we play, our body gets a little out of whack. Sometimes it takes suffering one injury to see how the rest of your body responds.
Yeah.
So they're going to, you know, if Caitlin or other players needs to continue to have adjustments happen during games, they'll do that as well.
You also spoke to Nneka. Did Nneka tell you?
She did.
You spoke to Nneka yesterday. Shanae already knows probably
I don't know
what
what
you told her.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Find out her source.
My first question was, so how's Shanae really as a sister, right? Because
it was all roses. I know the answer was great.
It was all roses.
Yeah, as a big sister, I can say it was definitely all roses. What did she tell you, not about her sister mindset, but about the Sparks mindset for the season?
They're really excited about this team that they have, and she said, I feel like our ceiling is so high because of the moves that they made, right? They bring in a lot of veterans to this LA team, and she said, all of this, it's going to hopefully lead us back into the playoffs. It makes us really excited, but it's not just Nneka that feels this way. I ran into De'Arca Hamby in the hallway, and she said, Kendra, the vibes here, every season, vibes early are good, but this, it's different, it's legit. They really feel like they have something special.
I think as the only person that was in both games for the Fever and for the Sparks, took that flight from Indianapolis quick to go see Nneka in the home opener. These are two teams that are trying to make good on what happened last year, right?
Yes.
Last year, the Sparks